When a narcissist feels you're gray-rocking them, this is how they'll react. Have you been through the ringer with a relationship involving a narcissist? Be it your parent, sibling, or confidant, you manned up and drew boundaries, halting the incessant need for their admiration. But what befalls when you dish out the cold shoulder? I, your benevolent guide, lead you on this journey to explore the potential outcomes of this shift in the tides. Hold tight. Before that, if you haven't already, avail yourself of my wondrous complimentary course, Narcissism 101, Early Warning Signs, Escaping the Trap, and Rebuilding Your Life. Link resides in the description, so we're just a click away. You might be well-versed with the gray rock strategy or another tactical approach to implementing minimal contact with your narcissistic comrade. Nevertheless, the genius of it all is that the narcissist will ultimately figure out that they're not the grand, all-encompassing star of the show anymore. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and put ourselves in their shoes for a moment. Can you envision the utter outrage, stupidity of it all, the carnage to their reality as everything they once knew crumbles beneath their feet? While every narcissist is distinct, they are typically defined by a common yearning for admiration. Regardless of their presumptive image of themselves, it's essential to recognize that deep down, they require validation and appreciation like everyone else. It's like finally basking in the sun's glory after a bleak, overcast day. Alas, entering into a narcissist's new reality might feel like falling into a whirlwind of torment. Swindled of the attention they believe they are entitled to, the narcissist could find themselves spiraling into a chasm of humiliation. This could manifest in a multitude of troubling reactions, such as fits of rage or abusive behavior. Unfortunately, those closest to them bear the brunt of this backlash. At the onset, it's common for a narcissist to reduce communication or cut the cord entirely in response to someone ignoring them. Fueling this behavior are several underlying motives, such as displaying their superiority and aggression towards others. Another element could be their desire to restore the connection they once shared, to resurrect the time when they received the undivided admiration and attention that they crave. Alternatively, they might engage in self-destructive habits, convinced that forcing someone's hand in abandoning their standoffish tendencies would provide an egoic boost. Regardless of their course of action, the narcissist's craving for validation and utmost adoration is merely a facade, masking their true identity of a deeply rooted insecurity and inadequacy. The narcissist's post-breakup behavior is where things can get peculiarly intriguing. It's not uncommon for them to grip onto their ex like a lifeline, playing the card of rekindled romance with old photographs and reminiscences about the good old days. However, the salient focus is on their cunning persuasion tactics, trying to win their ex back rather than reflecting on their previous actions that led to the downfall. Their scheme could consist of grand, ostentatious gestures, like showering their ex with lavish gifts or arranging romantic getaways to pique their interest. Even if it's just a volatile response, the mere reception feeds into the narcissist's skewed outlook that they are winning. At times, this could escalate to relentless harassment tactics, monitoring their ex's real life and virtual movements, as revenge feels justified. The hallmark of a narcissistic individual post-breakup is their incapacity to let go. Long after the relationship's expiration date, the narcissist remains infatuated with their former partner, performing imaginary role-play scenarios or using their ex as a hit of feel-good substance. They find it challenging to move on, as validation and admiration are the prime drivers of their existence. The narcissistic world is indeed fascinating, as their self-importance masks deep-rooted insecurities. Beware, as it's prudent to keep in mind that even if you've squashed contact with a narcissistic individual, they could still be obsessively consumed with thoughts of you. That being said, it's crucial to remind yourself that you are not indebted to reciprocate those feelings or interact with them. Defining and maintaining strong boundaries is critical in safeguarding your well-being. If the narcissist disrespects those parameters, cutting off contact without hesitation may be the most sensible option. It's no secret that narcissists are real go-getters when it comes to reconnecting with their former flames. They won't shy away from displaying unparalleled persistence, like getting chummy with your acquaintances or sidling up to those near and dear to you. At times, their tactics may be unusually surreptitious, like infiltrating your office's network, all in hopes of getting one step closer to you. Invite the narcissist back into your life and cue the unwanted, eerie sensation. They'll introduce roadblocks between you and your circle of friends or resort to bandying malicious rumors around town to taint your reputation, empowering their insatiable need to remain in a position of control. Entering a confrontation with a narcissistic individual can feel like walking into a minefield, as the slightest perceived threat can trigger an explosive, knifing retaliation. However, not engaging at all is equally tricky, as even negative or hostile attention is preferred over an apathetic reaction. When battling narcissists, expect emotional pressure tactics to crop up to regain control of the situation. Shame and guilt are their go-to emotional weapons, as they blurt out phrases like, "How can you treat me egregiously after all I've done for you?" Or "Think of all the time wasted if you end things now." The cherry on top, they might even place the blame for their suffering or illness on you. A sense of responsibility amplifies their guilt-tripping tactics. For narcissists, your vulnerability is their playing field. They'll guilt-trip you using your children, pets, or mental health to push the needle in their direction. They'll even threaten self-harm or become combative, and if they don't get their way, they may resort to violent behavior or vandalism to intimidate you into submission. Threats and punishment are just another tool they use to rule and control your life. In the most dire of circumstances, denying the wishes of a narcissistic individual could create severe repercussions, impacting not only yourself, but also those in your inner circle. They may selectively disclose personal information about you or make life miserable for loved ones if they sense they're losing control. Instead of succumbing to these manipulative tactics, it's necessary to stand your ground against their demands and seek help if needed to break free from their noxious grip. Desperate times call for desperate measures when the narcissist is deprived of the attention they crave. False promises, intimidation tactics, and, at times, aggression towards others are commonplace in their playbook to seize control back. The problem is that despite being called out on their destructive actions, narcissists remain convinced that such behavior is entirely justified. They have an astonishing tolerance for cruelty and may continue their malicious ways even if significant harm is created. The narcissist's unquenchable thirst for power and dominance can compel them towards ruinous or self-destructive conduct when threatened. Their mission to uphold a grandiose self-concept leads them to lash out at anyone who poses a threat to it without a hint of remorse for the damage they cause. Narcissistic behavior yields dire outcomes for not only individuals under its jurisdiction, but also for communities that share the burden. Ceasing this toxic conduct by identifying early warning signals is fundamental for preventative action. The above instances of the narcissist's attempts to regain control are just a drop in the ocean. The lengths to which they will go are inexplicable and astounding. Engaging in conversation and spreading knowledge about this caustic behavior is the need of the hour. Your insights and experiences are welcome in the comments section, so don't hold back. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and until the next time we meet, have a productive day.
So everyone, before we end today's session, let's summarize this video. Have you ever experienced the tumultuous nature of the relationship with a narcissist, be it a parent, sibling, or even a confidant? It is essential to be aware of the gray rock strategy, a tactical approach that involves adopting minimum contact with your narcissistic comrade. The hallmark of this approach is that the narcissist will eventually realize that they are no longer the center of attention. However, it is prudent to keep in mind that entering a new reality for a narcissist may feel like falling into a whirlwind of chaos, which could manifest in a myriad of troubling reactions, like displays of rage or abusive behavior. The narcissist's post-breakup behavior is where things get peculiarly intriguing. It is not uncommon for such individuals to cling onto their ex like a lifeline, playing the card of rekindled romance with old photographs and reminiscing about the good old days. However, the salient focus on their cunning persuasion tactics, trying to win their ex back, instead of reflecting on their previous actions that led to the relationship's downfall. In the most dire of circumstances, denying the wishes of a narcissistic individual could create severe repercussions, impacting not only yourself but also those in your inner circle. The narcissist may selectively disclose personal information about you or make life miserable for loved ones if they sense they are losing control. Instead of succumbing to these manipulative tactics, it is necessary to stand your ground against their demands and seek help if needed to break free from their noxious grip. False promises, intimidation tactics, and at times aggression towards others are commonplace in the narcissist's playbook to seize control back. Despite being called out on their destructive actions, narcissists remain convinced that their behavior is entirely justified. Their astonishing tolerance for cruelty may lead to self-destructive conduct, lashing out at anyone who poses a threat to their grandiose self-concept without any remorse for the damage they cause. Narcissistic behavior yields dire outcomes for individuals under its jurisdiction, as well as their communities that share the burden. Ceasing this toxic conduct by identifying early warning signals is fundamental for preventative action. Engaging in conversation and spreading knowledge about this caustic behavior is the need of the hour. The above-mentioned instances of the narcissist's attempts to regain control are merely a drop in the ocean. It is crucial to remind oneself that defining and maintaining strong boundaries is critical in safeguarding one's well-being. If the narcissist disrespects these parameters, cutting off contact without hesitation may be the most sensible option. In conclusion, it can be challenging to deal with the narcissist, especially when they feel that they are being reduced or ignored. Their unquenchable thirst for power and dominance can propel them towards ruinous or self-destructive behavior when their grandiose self-concept is threatened. The key is to keep an eagle eye on their behavior, identify early signs of manipulation, and protect yourself and your loved ones from any potential harm. I hope this video is informative for you, and if you have anything to say, please don't hesitate to write them down below in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe on this channel if this is your first time here. Until next time, have a nice day, guys.